Welcome back to our Jam 6 part where we're going to take and show you how to run the tool pass in order to cut this on the CNC mill. So to start with, we're going to start off from a fresh Inventor screen. We're going to go up to the top, go to Open, and we're going to pull down, make sure that we're in our H drive, first initial last name 000, and I'm going to scroll down until I can find my 6 jam part with my last name underneath it. And then click Open. Once it opens up, we're going to switch over from our Model tab above our ribbon, and we want to choose our Cam tab. And then let's set this part up. The first thing we want to do is click our Setup folder. And what we're going to do is we're going to change, oh, it already is, our origin. We're going to change it to a stock box point. If this does not already say stock box point, we're going to change it to stock box point. And then we're going to click the lower left corner of the part. Okay, that's where we want our origin to begin. Next, let's move over to our next tab. We're going to change where it says offset stock mode. We're going to change to no additional stock. Then we're going to move across to our program tab and post process. And we're going to take and change the 1001 in there to our part name, 6 jam, and your last name. And then click OK. All right, to run our tool pass on here, there's 3 of them that we're doing. We're going to be doing a pocket for these 2 open triangles, another pocket for this closed triangle. Then we're going to drill these 3 holes and then come back and cut these 2 slots on the sides. Okay, so let's start with that 2D pocket. Come up 2D pocket. We're going to take and select our tool first, and we're going to scroll down. Now you can get these tools from 2 different places, remember. One is in the sample libraries under end mills. You want tool number 2, 1/4 inch flat. Or if you scroll all the way down, Butler MS tool library, tool number 2, 1/4 inch flat. Both of those are the same. Okay, now I see my tool on top of here above my origin. Next, moving across to the tab, I'm going to select the area I want to pocket. So I want these 2 outside areas pocketed and this main inside triangle. Moving on to our next one. This should look familiar to us. We've been doing this a while. We're going to change these top 3 to model top and point 2. Change these top 3 to model top and point 2. When you're finished with that, go across to our multiple passes. Now these we're cutting a 1/2 inch deep. So that's kind of a lot of stress to put on that cutter. So we're going to check multiple depths. And my maximum roughing step down right here is I'm going to take and change that to 0.25. We're going to take that in a 1/4 inch at a time. Then scroll down where it says stock to leave. We want to uncheck stock to leave. And then move across to our last tab where we'll be doing our linking parameters. And in here, where it says leads and transitions, I want to uncheck lead in, uncheck lead out. And my ramp type, I'm going to change that from helix to plunge. Once you're finished with that, select OK from the menu at the bottom. And we can come up here to the top, click simulate. I have my stock checked so that we can see the stock. And then when you click play, it's going to show you how it cuts it away. Okay, that looks good for our first tool path. Click close in the menu at the left. Then we're going to take and we're going to drill those points. So we need a drilling operation. Let's select our drill feature. Okay, that puts our tool back in there. However, we need to redefine that tool because you can see here the retract feed rate has a problem to it. We need to redefine this tool. So we're going to select tool. We're going to go and scroll all the way down to the bottom, or you can select them from sample libraries, end mill, tool number 2, 1/4 inch flat. Click select. See how that changes these numbers to correct numbers for us? Then we're going to go across, select our geometry. Now for these, we're going to choose our holes each one of the 3 holes that are in here. Moving across to establish my heights. Once again, this is getting easier. We're doing model top and point 2, model top and point 2, and model top and point 2. Moving on to our last tab, which is the cycle tab here. It's showing us that we're doing a drilling operation, and it's going to be rapid retract once it reaches its final depth. And then click OK. Looking good. Next, let's move on to that last tool path, which is a 2D pocket. This one we need a different tool for. So we're going to switch our tools, redefine this. We're going to come down and choose either out of sample libraries and mills. We want tool 1, 1/8 inch flat, or all the way down to the bottom, Butler MS tool library. We want 1/8 inch flat end mill, and click select. Tool bit changes. Now we're going to come in and go to the next tab and define our geometry. Now in here, what I need to do a little bit, on the right hand side, I'm going to click my rotate tool or my free orbit tool. And I'm going to spin this around just a little bit so I can see through those slots. Then press escape. We want to be able to select this bottom edge of that slot. We could also flip this all the way around to the other side and look at it from the back view as well. So from here, got my 2D pocket. I have my geometry tab. I'm going to come into this slot and I want that bottom edge highlighted red and click. Go over to the other slot, bottom edge highlighted red, and click. Once we have that done, let's go over and establish those heights again. And you guessed it, model top and point 2, model top and point 2, and model top and point 2 for these top 3. Going across to our multiple passes, where it says stock to leave, we're going to uncheck stock to leave. Go across to our final tab. And in here, I want to uncheck lead in, uncheck lead out, and my ramp type, I'm going to change to plunge. Once you're done with that, select OK. Your part is done. Let's go check our toolpaths. I'm going to go home first. We're going to simulate. Make sure your stock option is checked here, and click play. This one we want to let play all the way through, because what's going to happen is at the end of this, you're going to end up taking a screenshot that is going to get turned into Google Classroom. So let this play all the way through till all the tooling is done, and then you're going to take and make a screenshot of this. Okay, this is the point where you would take a screenshot, and that gets turned into Google Classroom. Now let's save this part. Let's go up to the top, orange file in the top left-hand corner. We're going to go down to save. That just updates all the stuff that we just got done doing with the cam tab. Now we're going to take and post-process this. So I'm going to select setup 1, post-process. Make sure we're going to our H drive, first initial last name 000. If you don't see that, come over here to the left-hand side. Oops, you didn't see me do that. Click this gray box right here. If you take a look from the pull-down menu at the top, nothing is identifiable for us. So in order to choose our H drive, we want to go all the way down on the left-hand side to first initial last name 000, the gray box with the green line. Make sure that's in your H drive here. Click select folder. Your file name, 6gem, and your last name comes through on this line, so that's good. Click post, and we're going to click save. When the file editor box comes up in the upper right hand corner, we're going to click this to close it as well. And then for one good measure, we're going to go up to the orange file in the top left hand corner, and we're going to select save. Congratulations, this one is done. Let's move on to the next video where we're going to talk about how to create the standard IDW, the drawing, and place that really cool, awesome section view on there. Nice job today.